All praises to the Most High, Ahaya, and to his son, Yahayasha, Messiah, Yadahaya. This is Brother Holly here with the second Spirit of Truth broadcast here on the Ahaya House channel, as well as the House of Ahaya channel on this set apart Sabbath day. First and foremost, as always, I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to the great I am, he who is, was, and is to come, the Almighty One, Yadahaya, and to his son, Yahayasha, Messiah, who gave himself for us that we might have life, and that life is in him, Yadahaya. Now, in this second broadcast, we're going to go over some things that I am glad Ahaya has given me the go ahead and the grace to go over. We'll be reading some more from the book called Gad the Seer from the Hebraic Apocrypha collection, and we'll be reading some from the book of Genesis, from 2nd Ezra's in the Hebraic Apocrypha, and we'll be reading a little bit from Psalms. And what we're going to be talking about, children, is the two sets of commandments and laws, one set for the children of YASHARAHLA and the other one for all of the other descendants of the other three sons of Noah. That would be Ham, Shem, and Japheth. All praises. We'll be reading from his word, Hebrew, YASHARAHLA scriptures, 4 years of slavery, and from the electronic version of the book Gad the Seer from the Hebrew Readers collection. Shout out to the Hebrew Readers for this version of Gad the Seer. I find it complete. I find it in the name of Ahaya is proudly displayed. So shout out to the Hebrew Readers. Keep going, brothers. Appreciate y'all. All praises to the Most High for you. Let's start reading Genesis chapter 9. It says, Genesis chapter 9, verse 1. And Ahaya blessed Noah and his sons and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, and upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand they are delivered. Will you highlight? This is why things in nature run from us. The Most High put that fear of man in things. It is a problem when a creature of any size, but especially large, dangerous creatures, when they lose their fear of man. It is built in for them to run from you when they see you. And the Most High put that fear in them. And on occasion, if they become too used to you or lose their fear of you, then they become dangerous unto you. But let's keep reading. Genesis chapter 9, verse 3. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Will you highlight? Even as the green herb, I have given you all things. So for all those who love to go back to the time of the creation, from the time of the first world being destroyed, from the world from Adam to Noah, where the Most High dealt with everybody. Here, that world is gone. It's perished by water. And now we're in the second world, if you will, from Noah till today. And he's about to give what I like to refer to as the Noahide law, or the law for the descendants of Shem, Japheth, and Ham. But these laws are only universally applied to all three of the sons of Noah. But one of the sons of Noah, Shem, has a son called Abraham, who had a son called Isaac, who had a son called Jacob, who had sons who make up the 12 tribes of YASHARAHLA. That group of people, the 12 tribes of YASHARAHLA, have a whole new and improved separate set of laws just for them. And we of YASHARAHLA know of these laws. We refer to it as the Torah, or the Torah given through the hand of Moses, through Ahaya to Moses to us. And that law was codified and magnified at the coming of the Messiah, and that law will continue on throughout our generations. We'll even be keeping, children, the Sabbath and the new moon in the kingdom. That's found in Isaiah chapter 66, I believe it is, that we'll be keeping Sabbath and a new moon in the kingdom. All praises. So the law that the Most High gave through Moses unto us, and which that same law the Messiah codified and said it was applicable, that same law will go on throughout our generations. There will never be a time when that law will cease to exist. It said heaven and earth will pass away before one jot or tittle of the law shall pass away. All praises. Let's keep reading. Let's read what the law is for everybody else. Genesis 9:4. But flesh with the life thereof. I'll read through again. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb I have given you all things. So for all those who like to go back to the garden, saying, look, man was meant to be a vegetarian, no eating meat. Here it is. Everything is meat for you, and everything will be for the children of YASHARAHLA who have a dietary law. The other nations don't have dietary law. They can eat whatever they want, and they're going to be they're not in any trying to qualify for a kingdom. There's no kingdom for them. So their life is just what this is, and then go on to perdition. We are those who were given separate laws, so that if we kept them, we would go into the kingdom. If we don't, we go into perdition with the heathen. So if you eat like a heathen, you're going to receive a heathen's judgment. But if you eat like a righteous person, then you will receive the righteousness which Ahaya has promised to those who follow his commandments. All praises. But it says right here, meat is on the menu now. Right here, meat is on the menu for mankind. For the descendants of Japhet, for the descendants of Ham, and for the descendants of Shem. Meat is on the menu. You don't have to eat just vegetables. You can if you wish to. And if I know you are a vegetable eater, the great apostle Saul, who the world ignorantly called Paul, says, I won't eat meat in front of you till Messiah comes. If you just eat vegetables and you convinced that that's all you're supposed to eat, I'm not to eat meat in front of you, even though the scriptures say I can. I'm not to do it because I don't want to offend your weak consciousness. And I don't want you to be offended in meat. I'm not to let meat destroy a brother or a sister. Oh, praises. Let's keep reading. Genesis 9:4. But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat. Okay, this is the first commandment that's applicable to all the descendants of Shem, all the descendants of Ham, and all the descendants of Japhet. No eating blood. That law is also repeated for us in the Torah, is it not? And that same law and that same prohibition was repeated in the New Testament, in the book of Acts, for the so-called Gentiles, who are the strangers of YASHARAHLA and the uncircumcised of flesh or of heart of YASHARAHLA, who are being converted to the faith. That prohibition was repeated unto them, that they are not to eat blood. I'll read it again. Genesis 9:4, we're talking about the Noahide law, which is applicable to all mankind. But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, ye shall not eat. And surely your blood of your lives will I require at the hand of every beast. I will require it. And at the hand of man, at the hand of every man's brother, I will require the life of man. Verse 6 is key. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For the image of Ahayah made he man. So that's the second commandment. If you commit murder, capital punishment. If you commit murder, capital punishment. If you shed man's blood, you commit a sin unto death, you will be put to death. There are two commandments that are good for everybody. No eating blood, because the life is in the blood, and no killing each other without suffering the ultimate punishment of being killed yourself. If you kill a man, by man shall you be killed. These are the Noahide law. So you say to yourself, brother, why are you going over the Noahide law? Aren't we under the new covenant? Yes, we are. We are, but the rest of humanity is not. Now let's go to Gad to Seir to see some case law from Gad to Seir concerning someone from another nation trying to appeal to King David and hear the judgment of AHAYAH for these people who are trying to appeal unto David, trying to get in on the covenant. Let's read the book of the words of Gad the seer, chapter 9. Let's start reading at verse 1. And Hiram, king of Tyre, sent messengers unto David, saying, I know that AHAYAH thy AHAYAH is the AHAYAH, and now deal kindly and truly with me, and teach me the law of thy AHAYAH, for I will worship him all my life. Will you highlight if you got it? Now here's a king of Tyre coming to David and attempting to convince David to teach him the laws of the Most High. Your AHAYAH, your Most High power is the Most High power. Teach me his law that I may serve him. I'll read it again. Gad the seer, chapter 9, verse 1. And Hiram, king of Tyre, sent messengers unto David, saying, I know that AHAYAH, thy AHAYAH, is the AHAYAH. And now deal kindly and truly with me, and teach me the law of thy AHAYAH, for I will worship him all my life. And verse 3, and the messengers came to David with an offering in their hands for AHAYAH and for David. And they told him the words of Hiram, and presented him with the offering. Will you highlight if you can? Gad the seer, chapter 9, verse 4. And David said in reply to Hiram, Go and say to my brother, to Hiram, Thus saith David, your brother, will you highlight? Be afraid of AHAYAH, creator of heaven and fire and sea and the earth, the wet, the dry, the heat and the cold, the mineral and the vegetation, the living and the speaking, the spheres of Pegasus and Orion, the sun and the moon, the substantial and the spiritual, the wandering stars, the senses and everything. He said, be afraid of him who created all this. All these things were created and made without a blemish by AHAYAH Almighty. His name is AHAYAH. And if thou do this, observing the commandments that were ordered to the children of Noah, thy father, then good will be yours all thy days. Will you highlight if you can? That's why I went back to Genesis chapter 9 and read the commandments that were given by to Noah. They were given to Noah to give to his sons. What were the commandments given? Don't eat blood and don't kill each other. Men shouldn't kill other men. If you do, you're going to die. So David added yet another commandment to fear the one who created all things and to obey the commandments given by the Most High to Noah. And we're going to see here in Gad the seer that these commandments given to Noah were applicable to the descendants of Ham and the descendants of Japheth and to the descendants of Shem, but the descendants of Shem will include YASHARAHLA, of whom David was king over at the time. We've been given additional laws, and it's a separation on what we are given to do than someone who is not of us is given to do, and we're going to see it clearly here in Gad the seer. Again, a book they don't want you to read. Back to the book, Gad the seer, chapter 9. Verse 8. And if thou do this, that's fear the Most High, observing the commandments that were ordered to the children of Noah, don't eat the flesh don't eat the blood and the flesh, and don't murder one another, that were ordered to the children of Noah thy father, then good will be yours all thy days. Now do you notice that there is no talk about some salvation beyond this life? It's just good will happen to you all your days. Chapter 9, verse 9. For we are his allies. We are different from thee by the law of truth. sealed by the seal of the Almighty, called children of AHAYAH of truth. And therefore we have to obey the whole law, for we are commanded by the name, saying, Speak unto the children of YASHARAHLA. And he hath not dealt so with any nation as he did with us. For us he chose, and not for any reason, but for the great love he loved us. Now, what David said to the messengers of Hiram is that you were given commandments to keep from your father, Noah. You keep those commandments, you fear Allah, the creator of all things, and you'll have good all your days. But you can't be like us, because you weren't given the commandments we were given. You weren't given the feast day commandments. You weren't given the dietary law. You weren't given the moral law. You weren't given those things. Now, the laws that were given to Noah for all mankind are contained in the Torah. But they're not all the Torah. We have to follow all the Torah in truth. We've been called to that. And the Most High chose us for no other reason than his love toward us. And he did not give the other nations these commandments to keep, nor can we bring the other nations in on it. I'll read it again. Gad the Seer, chapter 9, verse 7. All these were created and made without a blemish by AHAYAH Almighty. His name is AHAYAH. And if thou do this, observing the commandments that were ordered to the children of Noah, thy father, then good will be yours all thy days. For we are his allies. We are different from thee by the law of truth, sealed by the seal of the Almighty, called children of AHAYAH of truth. And therefore we have to obey the whole law. For we were commanded by the name, saying, Speak unto the children of YASHARAHLA. And he hath not dealt so with any nation as he did with us. For we he chose, and not for any reason, but for the great love he loves us. Now we're going to turn to Psalms 147. All praises. We're going to get a second witness on that he didn't give the law to anybody else but us. Let's get that. Psalms 147, verse 15. Let's start reading at verse 15. He sent forth his commandments upon the earth. This is Psalms 147, 15. Speaking of AHAYAH. He sent forth his commandment upon the earth. His word runneth very swiftly. He giveth snow like wool. He scattereth the hoarfrost like ashes. He casteth forth his ice like morsels. Who can stand before his cold? He sent out his word and melted them. He caused his wind to blow, and the waters flow. He showed his word unto Jacob, verse 19, his statutes and his judgments unto YASHARAHLA. He hath not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. AHAYAH. Oh, praises. Again, same person who wrote the Psalms is speaking here in Gad the Seer, and he used the same phraseology. Let's read it one more time. Forgive me, naked still. Gad the Seer, chapter 9. Let's start reading. At verse 8 again. If thou do this, observing the commandments that were ordered to the children of Noah, thy father, then good will be yours all thy days. Like I said earlier, you're not going to receive, there was no mention of them receiving any kind of, eternal life in the kingdom. For we are his allies, verse 9, Gad the Seer 9:9. For we are his allies. We are different from thee by the law of truth, sealed by the seal of the Almighty, called children of AHAYAH of truth. And therefore we have to obey the whole law. For we are commanded by the name, saying, Speak unto the children of YASHARAHLA. And he have not dealt so with any nation as he did with us. We just read the second precept to that. Verbatim. Same thing. So we know this is an established word. Out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let every word be established. So let's go. And he hath not dealt so with any nation as he did with us. This is Gad chapter 9, verse 11. And he hath not dealt so with any nation as he did with us. For us he chose, and not for any reason, but for the great love he loves us. And the messengers returned and came back to Hiram their king, and told him the words of King David. And Hiram rejoiced in his heart, gathering all his princes and his servants, and said unto them the following: Listen to me, Tyrians and Sidonians, what I will tell you. Be afraid and fear Allahayah Almighty, whose name is Ahayah of YASHARAHLA. He made everything by speaking and by the breath of his mouth. And who will tell him what to do? For he is one. Say with me, blessed is Ahayah of YASHARAHLA, who chooses his people, and blessed is David, his servant, king of his people, and blessed is YASHARAHLA, whom Ahayah has chosen to be his inheritance. Will you highlight? Now, did Hiram, when he heard what David said and sent back to his messengers, did Hiram say, "Oh no, I gotta talk to somebody else, man. This is for everybody." No, David, you got it wrong. It's for everybody. A spirit talked to me and said it's for everybody. See, this flies in the face of the universal salvationists. Gad the Seer break all that down. It replaces replacement theology with the truth, and it makes universal salvation not universal. It's just for one group of people. I'll read it again. Let's read what Hiram said, what King Hiram said after hearing the words, after hearing what came back. This is Gad the Seer, chapter 9, verse 12. And the messengers returned and came back to Hiram their king, and told him the words of King David. And Hiram rejoiced in his heart, gathering all his princes and his servants, and said unto them the following: Listen to me, Tyrians and Sidonians, what I will tell you. Be afraid and fear Allahayah Almighty, whose name is Ahayah of YASHARAHLA. He made everything by speaking and by the breath of his mouth. Who will tell him what to do? For he is one. Say with me, blessed is Ahayah of YASHARAHLA, who chooses his people. And blessed is David, his servant, king of his people. And blessed is YASHARAHLA, whom Ahayah has chosen to be his inheritance. And would that we were slaves to the children of YASHARAHLA, that are called children of Ahayah, their Ahayah. And all his princes and servants replied, Amen, thus will it be done. And Hiram lifted up his voice and said, I have seen, but not now. I have beheld, but not nigh. There shall step forth a son from David, and a moon shall rise out of the house of Judah, and shall smite all the children of Ham, and break down the children of Japhet. And he will possess all the kingdoms of the world. Will you highlight if you got it? Now Hiram, after making this declaration of how the Most High is only the Most High of the children of YASHARAHLA, and how the children of YASHARAHLA are the only people that he accepts, that they are his people and he's they're his inheritance, they're his people. It's good for us that we just be slaves. So for all these camp banging brothers that keep telling these heathens you're going to be slaves in the kingdom, here it is in Gad the Seer. I don't know why I don't read this. It says it right here. They accept the fate in Gad the Seer. These heathens accept their fate as being the slaves of the children of YASHARAHLA. I don't denounce. I can read too. I can read what Isaiah chapter 11 says. It absolutely says that. Or is it chapter 13? I have to look it up again. But suffice to say, it absolutely says that the children of YASHARAHLA will take them captive whom captive they were, and shall reign over their oppressors. Shall make them bondsmen and bondwomen unto them. Those who were led into captivity in the book of Revelation shall go into captivity. Those who killed the sword must be killed with the sword. This is the patience and faith of the saints. This is our faith. Our faith is built on this promise. Oh, praises. So here it is, the promise. And here's some heathens, people not of Yasharahla, some Sidonians, some Tyranians, accepting their fate. They say it'd be good just for us to be slaves. I'll read it again. This is Gad Desir, chapter 9, verse 16. Say with me, blessed is AHAYAH of YASHARAHLA, who chooses his people, and blessed is David, his servant, king of his people, and blessed is YASHARAHLA, whom AHAYAH has chosen to be his inheritance, and would that we were slaves to the children of YASHARAHLA, that are called children of AHAYAH, their AHAYAH. Children of AHAYAH, their AHAYAH. And all his princes and his servants replied, Amen. Thus will be done. And Hiram lifted up his voice and said, I have seen, but not now. I have beheld, but not nigh. There shall step forth a son from David, and a moon shall rise out of the house of Judah, and shall smite all the children of Ham, and break down all the children of Japhet, and he will possess all the kingdoms of the world. Wow. So Hiram, after coming to the realization and leading his people to the realization that it's just good to be a servant in the house, Hiram was given a vision. He saw the destruction of all of the descendants of Ham. He saw the destruction of all the children of Japhet. All the children of Ham are going to be destroyed. All the children of Japhet are going to be destroyed. And the sun that came out of David, the moon that rises out of Judah, will possess all the kingdoms of the earth. Oh, praises! That's why they don't want you reading Gad Desir. He talks about their destruction. They say, oh, no. I'll read it again. Gad Desir, chapter 9, verse 19. And Hiram lifted up his voice and said, I have seen, but not now. I have beheld, but not nigh. There shall step forth a son from David, and a moon shall rise out of the house of Judah, and shall smite all the children of Ham, and break down all the children of Japhet, and he will possess all the kingdoms of the world. And who is like AHAYAH, above all AHAYAHs? And who is like YASHARAHLA, a people above all the nations? May our end be like theirs. Verse 21, and when AHAYAH heard the words of Hiram, it was well pleasing in his sight. And AHAYAH said to Gad, the seer of David, as follows, go to my servant and tell him my word that I say unto you. And Gad, the man in whose hand was the word of AHAYAH, came to David and said, thus saith AHAYAH of hosts, I have heard the words of Hiram, king of Tyre, and the words of his princes and his servants, and they please me. Wherefore I shall give him and his people a heart of wisdom and understanding to prepare my house where I will put my name, and that will assist his land's growth. For I have chosen them and shall not despise them. And David said to Gad, now I know that AHAYAH gives good reward to all his creatures and to all the works he created. For he is an AHAYAH of mercy, who dwells on high and looks after in low. And he that is banished will not be an outcast from him. Blessed be AHAYAH forevermore. Amen and amen. For as the heaven is high above and the earth, so great is his mercy toward them that fear him, and toward his works. Bless AHAYAH, all ye his works, and all his places of his dominion. Bless AHAYAH, O my soul. Yadah AHAYAH. When you obey the Noahitan law, when you fear the one who created heaven and earth and all that therein, He will see that you fear him. He will see that you're obeying his commandments that he gave to the children of Japhet, to the children of Shem, and to the children of Ham. Though the children of Ham and children of Japhet all going to be destroyed. Not all the seed of Shem is going to be destroyed. For the book of Jubilees tells us that all the seed of Shem is named in one man. That's Jacob. So as far as the Most High is concerned, from his word, all of the Shemites that are worth saving are found on one people, YASHARAHLA. All Ham's going to be destroyed. This is the vision that was given to King Hiram, king of Tyre. Once he came to an acknowledgement that the Most High power was the Most High power of the children of YASHARAHLA, and that he was the creator of all things. And his words so pleased Ahayah that he said, I'm gonna give him a place of assistance to the building of my temple. And his people I'll bless all the days of it. I'll bless them forevermore. This is my word. I will bless them. But this blessing only extends for their lifetimes. This blessing ain't forevermore. This is only for their lifetime. Don't confuse the rain that falls on the just and the unjust. Don't confuse these things with salvation. Nor allow the tithe taking, pork chop eating, Sunday go to meeting jokers convince you of universal salvation. What did Hiram come to David for at the beginning? I need to be taught the law that I may worship your Most High as you do. What did David tell him? Hey brother, you keep the law that he gave to Noah, and you fear him. But as far as the law that came for the children of YASHARAHLA, that ain't for you. These things are not for you or any other nation. He gave these laws to us because he loved us so. And he chose us above all other nations to be his people. Not for any other reason, but his great love toward us. Let that sink in, children. That the Most High has shed his love upon Jacob. For he said in his word in 2 occasions, once in Malachi and once in Romans, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. All praises to the Most High, Ahayah, and to his son, AHAYAH'S, Messiah, Yadah, Hayah.